Want to speak real Portuguese from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at PortuguesePod101.com.
In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Portuguese. It may vary a little depending on the person you're talking to. Let's first take a look at the most common way. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. Hi, I'm Paloma. It's a pleasure to meet you. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. Start by saying, Oi, meu nome é. Then say your name. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Finally, say, prazer em conhecê-lo. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. Please pay attention to the end of the sentence. This version is only used if you're introducing yourself to a man, because you say conhecê-lo. If you're introducing yourself to a woman, you should use conhecê-la. So the full sentence to introduce yourself to a woman would be Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-la. Here's a quick tip to help you if you don't remember which article to use in the end of the sentence. Just use prazer. Prazer. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer. Let's check what you've learned. Based on who I'm talking to, try to remember how to introduce yourself. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-la. Oi, meu nome é Paloma. Prazer em conhecê-lo. When introducing yourself in Brazil, it's polite to shake hands. This is used in formal situations. In a more informal situation, people may kiss you on the cheek. The number of kisses may vary from person to person or region. Some people only kiss once, but others may kiss you 2 or even 3 times. Now it's time for Paloma's point. If you're introducing yourself to a group, you should say either conhecê-los or conhecê-las. If the group is all men or a mix of men and women, say conhecê-los. If the group is woman only, use conhecê-las.
Top 10 phrases you never want to hear. A gente deveria sair com outras pessoas. We should see other people. Yeah, sounds like a breaking up, right? Eu acho que a gente deveria sair com outras pessoas. Yeah, I think we should see other people. A gente precisa conversar. We need to talk. That's not a good phrase, especially if your girlfriend tells you that you might have done something wrong. Querido, vem aqui, a gente precisa conversar. Honey, comes here, we need to talk. Not good. Desculpa, eu esqueci. Sorry, I forgot. So if your teacher comes to you and say, você preparou a apresentação? Did you prepare the presentation? You just say, desculpa, eu esqueci. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, you might not get a good grade at that subject. Eu não tenho seu dinheiro hoje. I don't have your money today. You might be a good friend and lend money to your friends, but then when you need that money back, you might say, e o meu dinheiro? What about my money? And a bad answer would be, eu não tenho seu dinheiro hoje. I don't have your money today. Eu te falei. I told you so. Especially moms do that, right? So if you want to go out to a place and your mom tells you, leva uma blusa, take a blouse with you, take a coat with you, and you just say, não precisa. No, I don't need that. So when you come back all wet or cold, she might tell you, eu te falei, I told you. Não é você, sou eu. It's not you, it's me. When someone is trying to break up with you, they might use this phrase. So they don't want to, hurt your feelings, quebrar o seu coração, break your heart. So they might say, não, mas o problema não é você, sou eu. No, the problem is not you, it's me. Obrigada pelo currículo. Infelizmente, a vaga já foi preenchida. Thank you for your resume. Unfortunately, the position has been filled. That's a pretty bad sentence, right? So if you're looking forward to get a job and you're waiting for the answer from the company and they just send you this email or by phone, obrigado pelo currículo. Infelizmente, a vaga já foi preenchida. Thank you for your resume. Unfortunately, the position has been filled. Você engordou? Have you gained weight? Yeah, people don't like to hear that, right? So you just say, você está diferente. Oh, you look different. Don't say você engordou. Have you gained weight? Você tem um fio de cabelo branco. You have a gray hair. I think young people don't care that much about gray hairs. I also have some. But when you're getting older, like 40s or 50s, you don't want to have gray hairs at all. So if you come to your auntie or your uncle and say, você tem um fio de cabelo branco. You have a gray hair. You might be like, oh no, I'm getting old. Você está demitido. You're fired. I think that's the worst sentence you never want to hear. If your boss don't look very happy with you, he might come to your office and say, come here, vem cá. Você está demitido. You're fired. Top 10 phrases you always want to hear. Você ganhou. You won. So especially if it's a big prize like a lottery, you always want to hear this phrase, right? For example, você ganhou a loteria. You won the lottery. Estou com saudades de você. I miss you. Especially for people that travel a lot, this is a common phrase to hear. When you're in your big travel, your family might call you and say, ai, que bom que você ligou. Eu estava com saudade de você. Oh, that's so good that you called. I was missing you. Eu trouxe uma coisinha para você. I brought you something. Who doesn't like presents? So when your friend comes back from traveling, he might bring you a gift or a souvenir and say, eu trouxe uma coisinha para você. I brought you something. O orçamento é ilimitado. The budget is unlimited. So maybe at your work, your boss might tell you, o orçamento é ilimitado para a festa. The budget is unlimited to the party. So it can be a big party with all your friends and all family from everyone in your company. Vai ter bônus no final do mês. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. Yeah, money is always good, right? So if your boss comes to you and tells you, vai ter bônus, you might be prepared because there's a bonus coming up. Vai ter bônus no final do mês. There will be a bonus at the end of the month. Você é cozinheiro excelente. You're an excellent cook. Compliments are always good. So if someone tells you, você é excelente something, it means that you're excellent at something. So, você é excelente cozinheiro. You're an excellent cook. Você é excelente cantora. You're an excellent singer. Você está ótimo hoje. You look great today. Especially for women, we go and we put makeup and we brush our hair and we do a lot of things and no one says anything. So guys, just be nice to girls and say, você está ótima hoje. You look great today. Você estava certo. You were right. If you have a discussion with someone and he's always telling you, no, you're wrong, I'm wrong. And then he finally figures out that, no, he was wrong and you're the right person, he might tell you, você estava certo. Yeah, you were right. Você fez ótimo trabalho. You did a great job. So your boss at work or your teacher at school might tell you, você fez ótimo trabalho. You did a great job. Você pode descansar. Eu vou fazer a faxina hoje. Take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. Yeah, that's a good one, right? I don't think many people like to do cleaning. I don't. But if someone comes to you and say, você pode descansar. You can take a break. Eu vou fazer a faxina hoje. I'll do the cleaning today. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I allow someone to do that for me.
As good manners are a must everywhere, today we are going to learn how to thank people. Vocês estão prontos? Are you ready? Vamos começar. Then let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the most common phrase, obrigado. Obrigado. Obrigado means thank you. To say thank you very much, you just need to add muito in the beginning. Muito obrigado. Muito obrigado. Muito means a lot. So, muito obrigado is like saying thank you very much. In the last lesson, we saw that Portuguese words may vary according to gender. You say obrigado if you are a man. If you are a woman, you should say obrigada. Obrigada. When someone thanks you, how should you answer? There are a few things you can say. The first is de nada. De nada. This means it's nothing. You're telling the person that it's nothing worth thanking you for. There's another phrase that is often used to mean you're welcome in Portuguese. Disponha. It means welcome in English, but it's not used as often as de nada. Time for another quiz. What do you say in these situations? Muito obrigada. Muito obrigado. De nada. Now it's time for Paloma's point. In Brazil, we sometimes cut words when we are talking. For example, it's very common to hear brigado instead of obrigado. Don't get confused between brigado, that means fight, and brigado, thank you.
Want to speak real Bulgarian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at BulgarianPod101.com.
Top 10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Além do português, eu também sei outras línguas. Apart from Portuguese, I can speak other languages as well. If you say this phrase in Brazil, people will be so jealous at you because many Brazilians can't even speak English. So if you just say, eu posso falar outras línguas também, I can speak other languages as well, they will be like, okay, he's a genius. Ele é um gênio. Além do português, eu também falo inglês, francês e espanhol. Apart from Portuguese, I can also speak English, French, and Spanish. Especially for people that can speak Portuguese, Spanish, even French and Italian are very easy. Not very easy, but easier to learn. Estou aprendendo português sozinho. I'm learning Portuguese by myself. I think it's a pretty amazing sentence to say because people usually go to language schools in Brazil to learn English and Spanish usually. But if you just say, I'm learning that by myself, they will be like, wow. Não, eu não vou para a escola. Eu estou aprendendo português sozinho. No, I don't go to school. I'm learning Portuguese by myself. Estou estudando português faz 10 anos. I've been learning Portuguese for 10 years. That's a pretty long, hard-working path, right? Eu sei português porque eu estou aprendendo português faz 10 anos. I know Portuguese because I've been learning Portuguese for 10 years. E eu entendi tudinho que você disse. I completely understood everything you said. Using diminutives in Portuguese sentence shows that you can, play with the language, so it seems like you're fluent in the language. If you say tudinho, that means small everything. Sounds like very Portuguese, very Brazilian. Não precisa repetir. Eu entendi tudinho que você me disse. You don't need to repeat. I completely understood what you said. Eu consigo assistir filmes em português sem legendas. I can watch movies in Portuguese without subtitles. Famous Brazilian movies you should watch are City of God, Cidade de Deus, or Tropa de Elite, The Elite Squad, which are all-time famous movies in here. Não precisa se preocupar. Eu consigo assistir filmes em português sem legenda. You don't need to worry. I can watch movies in Portuguese without subtitles. Levou apenas um ano para me tornar fluente. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. I think if you're native Spanish speaker, you might say levou apenas um ano. But if you're English speaker, it might take a little longer if you don't dedicate, all your time to learn Portuguese. If someone tells you, wow, seu português é ótimo. Wow, your Portuguese is great. You can answer, não é nada. Levou apenas um ano para me tornar fluente. No, it's nothing. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Obrigada, mas na verdade eu não sou brasileira. Thank you, but I'm not Brazilian actually. Yeah, I think that's the most amazing phrase you want to hear. Nossa, eu achei que você fosse brasileira. Wow, I thought you were Brazilian. Obrigada, mas na verdade eu não sou brasileira. Thank you, but actually I'm not Brazilian. Português é divertido e fácil de aprender. Portuguese is fun and easy to learn. If you tell this phrase to your friends, I think they'll be amazed because we know Portuguese is not that easy. And you just say, não é difícil. Português é divertido e fácil de aprender. No, it's not hard. Portuguese is fun and easy to learn. Posso memorizar umas 50 palavras novas por dia em português. I can memorize around 50 new Portuguese words a day. Yeah, that's pretty amazing. Usually people can memorize 10 to 20 words a day, but if you say you can memorize 50, they'll be like, wow. Another word for memorize would be decorar, to know by heart. Você pode me ensinar mais. Eu posso decorar umas 50 palavras por dia em português. You can teach me more. I can memorize around 50 new words a day in Portuguese. Vou falar português como um falante nativo em 3 anos. I'll speak Portuguese like a native speaker in 3 years. That's a bold challenge, but if you're up to it, I think that's totally doable to learn and to be fluent in a language in 3 years. Eu vou estudar muito e vou falar português como um nativo em 3 anos. I'll study a lot and I'll speak Portuguese as a native speaker in 3 years.
Today, we'll learn some common ways to say hello and goodbye in Brazil. Vocês estão prontos? Are you ready? Then let's start. The most common informal greeting is Oi. Oi. Oi means hello. We say it when we meet someone. You may also say Olá. That also means hello. Olá. Another common greeting that you hear a lot in Brazil and at PortuguesePod101.com is Tudo bem? Tudo bem? Tudo bem means is everything fine? We use it usually together with Oi or Olá to greet someone. Altogether, you can say Oi, tudo bem? Oi, tudo bem? Tudo bem is a question, but it can also be the answer. Just say tudo bem, which means everything is fine. At the end, you can add e você? And you? Tudo bem, e você? Tudo bem, e você? When it's time to leave, we have a couple of different ways to say goodbye. You may say tchau. Tchau means bye. Tchau. You can also say see you soon. Até mais. Até mais. You also have adeus, which means goodbye, but you usually use it when the person is leaving to somewhere far or you're not going to meet for some time. Adeus. You learned a lot of new phrases today. Let's review with a quiz. What do you say in these situations? Oi. Olá. Oi, tudo bem? Tudo bem, e você? Tchau! Até mais! Adeus! You now know lots of ways to greet people in Portuguese. Now it's time for Paloma's point. You often hear people saying tudo bom instead of tudo bem in Brazil. Bem means well and bom means good, but you usually use both in the same situations. Although tudo bem is more grammatically correct.
Top 10 compliments you always want to hear. Number 1. Você é muito bonita. You're very beautiful. You could also say to a man that would be Você é muito bonito. You're very handsome. Especially for girls when you wake up and put makeup. It's so good if someone tells you Você é muito bonita. Or it could be Você está muito bonita hoje. You look very beautiful today. Que inteligente que você é. How smart you are. Maybe your Brazilian friends will tell you que inteligente que você é, because you're learning Portuguese and it's not very easy. But if someone tells you with a different intonation, for example, que inteligente que você é, it means like, are you dumb? Like, you're not very smart. So please take care how you use this phrase, okay? Você é uma super amiga. You're an awesome friend. You can also say você é super amigo for your boyfriend, like a man friend. But for girls, it's amiga. Você é uma super amiga. Eu te adoro. I love you. I adore you. É impressão minha ou você tá mais magra? Is it me or are you thinner? Especially if you're working out and making a lot of exercises, malhando. Yeah, going to the gym, indo na academia, it's so good if someone tells you é impressão minha ou você tá mais magra? Is it me or are you thinner? O seu currículo é impressionante. Your resume is impressive. So if you go to a job interview or entrevista de trabalho, the interviewer or entrevistador might tell you Uau, você fala português. Wow, you speak Portuguese. O seu currículo é impressionante. Your resume is impressive. Bom trabalho. Great job. You probably hear this sentence at your workplace. For example, if you work very hard and your boss comes to you and tells you Bom trabalho. Great job. Você tem bom gosto. You have good taste. I really like when, for example, a cousin of mine asks me to help her choosing a dress or making her hair because they tell me, você tem bom gosto, you have good taste. Oh, it's so good, obrigada. O seu sorriso é lindo. Your smile is beautiful. Maybe when you were a kid you used to use brackets or aparelhos, but when you grow up, at least you have a nice smile, right? O seu sorriso é lindo. Your smile is beautiful. Você está maravilhosa. You look gorgeous. You're waiting for your date, and then he knocks on your door. You open it, and he looks at you and says, você está maravilhosa. You look gorgeous. It can also be said by friends, especially girlfriends. Amiga, você está maravilhosa. Girl, you're beautiful. You're gorgeous. Olha que coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça. Ela, menina que vem e que passa. Nossa, amiga, você canta muito bem. Wow, my friend, you sing very well. How to respond to how are you? Tudo bem? How are you? Tudo bem? How are you? I think you already know that tudo bem can be the question and also the answer. Tudo bem? Tudo bem. Oi, tudo bem? Tudo bem. E você? E aí, beleza? Hey, what's up? E aí, beleza? Hey, what's up? Beleza means beauty, but in this case I think it means more like everything's beautiful with you. You can also answer beleza. This is very casual, so it's best to avoid it in a more formal or business situation. E você? And you? E você? And you? Of course, if someone asks you, e aí, beleza? Or tudo bem? It's common courtesy to also ask them, e você? And you? Tudo ótimo. Everything is great. Tudo ótimo. Everything is great. If you don't want to answer the same way as the question, tudo bem? Tudo bem. You can also say, tudo ótimo. Everything's great. Eu estou bem. I'm fine. Eu estou bem. I'm fine. That's another option. Bem means well in Portuguese or fine. Eu estou bem. Eu estou bem também. I'm fine too. Eu estou bem também. I'm fine too. So if you say, eu estou bem, e você? The person can answer, eu estou bem também. I'm also fine. Então tá bom. Then it's all good. It's very common to say after all these steps, então tá bom. Then it's all good. Oi, tudo bom? Tudo bem, e você? Tudo bem. Ah, então tá bom. Eu estou me sentindo mal. I'm feeling bad. Tudo bem? Não, tô me sentindo mal. No, I'm feeling bad. Maybe I ate something that wasn't good. Eu estou ótima. I'm great. Oi, tudo bom? Como você tá? How are you? Eu estou ótima. I'm great. Obrigada por perguntar. Thank you for asking. If you want to be very polite, you can say obrigada por perguntar or obrigado por perguntar. Thank you for asking. 20 travel phrases you should know. Travel, viajar. Você pode me ver um mapa? Could you get me a map? Você pode me ver um mapa? Could you get me a map? Well, nowadays everyone has cell phone and we have maps on it, so it's not that useful anymore. But sometimes in some smaller cities, it's very useful to have a map. So just remember the word, mapa. It's not that hard, right? Você fala inglês? Do you speak English? Você fala inglês? Do you speak English? Well, this is kind of a survival phrase, especially if you don't speak Portuguese very well. You should know that one. So you can, just approach everyone and just ask them, você fala inglês? Você fala inglês? Well, if you speak another language, you can also ask, just change English for that language, right? Você fala inglês? Você fala francês? Você fala japonês? And hopefully someone will speak the language you need. Tem algum ônibus que vai do aeroporto até a cidade? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? Tem algum ônibus que vai do aeroporto até a cidade? Is there a bus from the airport to the city? In most airports, there will probably be a bus that goes from the airport to the city, so just ask, information, or guardinha, like a security guard. Yeah, we love to ask the guardinhas. Moço, excuse me, sir. Moço, com licença. O Wi-Fi é gratuito? Is the Wi-Fi free? O Wi-Fi é gratuito? Is the Wi-Fi free? You can also say, o Wi-Fi é grátis? In most restaurants, hotels, and everywhere you go, they will have a Wi-Fi. So sometimes the Wi-Fi is free, but they still have a password. So you can ask, qual é a senha do Wi-Fi? What is the Wi-Fi password? Você tem um quarto vago para hoje? Do you have any vacancies tonight? Você tem um quarto vago para hoje? Do you have any vacancies tonight? I prefer to book for a room before going to the city, but many people prefer to just go to the place they want to go and there they find the hotel. Well, if you do that, then you have to ask, tem algum quarto para hoje à noite? Or tem algum quarto vago para hoje à noite? Eu poderia me mudar para outro quarto? Could I move to a different room? Eu poderia me mudar para outro quarto? Could I move to a different room? Well, there are many reasons why you want to change your room. Maybe it's too noisy, barulhento, or something's broken, quebrado. So you can just go complain, this is broken, or it's too noisy. Posso me mudar para outro quarto? Eu tenho uma reserva. I have a reservation. Eu tenho uma reserva. I have a reservation. Well, you can use this at hotels or restaurants. If you want to be more specific, you can say, eu tenho uma reserva no nome de. I have a reservation under the name of. Eu tenho uma reserva no nome de Paloma. Você pode trazer o cardápio, por favor? Could you bring the menu, please? Você pode trazer o cardápio, por favor? Could you bring the menu, please? Okay, this is very useful because many countries, they also use the word menu, similar to the English, but in Brazil, we mostly use the word cardápio. So don't forget it. If you say menu, they probably understand, but it's much more common to say cardápio. Você tem alguma sugestão? Do you have any recommendations? Você tem alguma sugestão? Do you have any recommendations? So you can ask that to the waiter, the waitress, or maybe the tour guide. You can also say like, I like meat. Do you have any recommendations? Eu gosto de carne. Você tem alguma sugestão? Você pode trazer a conta? Could I have the check? Você pode trazer a conta? Can I have the check? So, você pode trazer a conta literally means, can you bring me the bill? But, well, in English it's more common to say, can I have the check? Maybe. You can also say just, a conta, por favor. The check, please. Eu sou alérgico a amendoim. I'm allergic to peanuts. Eu sou alérgico a amendoim. I'm allergic to peanuts. I'm so lucky I'm not allergic to anything, so I can just order whatever I want. Maybe I won't like it, but at least it won't be bad for me. If you're allergic to something, make sure to know that word in Portuguese. If you don't know that word, you can just post in the comments below and we'll make sure to answer you. Uma água, por favor. Water, please. Uma água, por favor. Water, please. Usually when you order water in Brazil, they come in bottles, they don't come in glasses. And they are usually água mineral, not água com gás, which would be sparkling water. So if you just want normal, natural water, you can just say água mineral. Quanto custa este daqui? How much is this? Quanto custa este daqui? How much is this? So if you're in a store looking at things, you can just say, oh, I like that one. Quanto custa este daqui? How much is this? Eu quero 10 desses. I'd like 10 of this. Eu quero 10 desses. I'd like 10 of this. So if you went to the store and you asked, quanto custa este daqui? And you liked it, you can just say, eu vou levar 10 desses. I'm gonna take 10 of this. Eu quero este daqui. I'd like this one. Eu quero este daqui. I'd like this one. If you want to be very specific, you can say, eu quero este daqui. I'd like this one. If you want that one, you would say, eu quero aquele dali. Tem desconto? Is there a discount? Tem desconto? Is there a discount? So it's very common to ask for discounts in Brazil. You can also say, tem desconto no dinheiro? Is there a discount in cash? Especially if you're buying a lot of merchandise, you can ask that. Of course, you're not gonna ask in a supermarket or a chain store, but if it's like a local business, it's more common to give a discount. Maybe in touristic areas, not that common, but well, you should try, right? As we say in Brazil, não custa nada. Doesn't cost anything. At the most, your answer is gonna be não, no, não tem desconto. Vocês aceitam cartão de crédito? Do you take credit card? Vocês aceitam cartão de crédito? Do you take credit card? Nowadays you can pay by credit card everywhere. It's very hard to find a place that doesn't accept credit card. Like, it's crazy. Even if you go, for example, to the beach, there's like the guy selling earrings and he's gonna have his credit card machine so you can pay with credit card. I'm not kidding, yeah. Onde fica a rodoviária? Where's the bus terminal? Onde fica a rodoviária? Where's the bus terminal? You can say rodoviária or terminal rodoviário, but it's much more common just to say rodoviária. Quanto é a passagem? What's the fare? Quanto é a passagem? What's the fare? You can use the question at the rodoviária, the bus terminal, for example, for a long distance bus, but you can also use it for a local bus. For example, if you don't see the price that is usually in the front of the bus, you can just ask the driver, motorista, or cobrador, você poderia parar em, or você poderia me avisar? But first you have to ask, quanto é a passagem? Quanto é a tarifa? Você pode tirar uma foto de mim, por favor? Could you take a picture of me, please? Você pode tirar uma foto de mim, por favor? Can you take a picture of me, please? Most people nowadays don't leave their home without their selfie stick, which in Portuguese is pau de selfie. But if you don't have your pau de selfie, you can just ask someone, você pode tirar uma foto de mim, por favor? Or você pode tirar uma foto de nós, por favor? Can you take our picture, please? Yeah, I'm talking with my ghost friend here.